Welcome back to Cubbyhole Conversations after a 2-week break. It was not a planned break, it was an unintentional break, but we had 2 weekends. One was really low and one was really high, and it just sort of didn't get around to making Cubbyhole Conversations recording for you guys. I just didn't feel like I really had anything to say that would be relevant to your lives and maybe help you on your journey. And so, I had this thought this morning that a ship without a heading never gets to port, right? Like if you don't have a direction, you don't have a heading, you never get to port. And so that was not our issue. Like we know our heading, we know our ultimate heading, and we know what our ultimate port is. So we had that, but it was almost like our rudder was stuck to the starboard side and we're just going in circles, we're just looping around, treading water, you could say, if you were, a swimmer, treading water. But it was like our ship was just not going in the direction we wanted it to go. It wasn't really going anywhere, and we're trying to figure it out and what's going on. And there were some disruptions that we didn't really have a lot of control over. But that wasn't really the core issue. And people say, turn your eyes to Jesus. Like I sing this song all the time. Turn your eyes to Jesus. Look full in his wonderful face, and the things of this earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. And absolutely, I'm 100% on board with that. I totally agree with it. And I do think that the world fades away almost as if there are blinders on a horse, right? When you're looking at Christ, the issues of the world kind of tend to fade away, unless obviously he's telling you to be active and involved with those issues. But I had this thought also this morning of like, you're looking at the Lord. My eyes are on Jesus, but my body and my legs are going that direction. It's like, well, my eyes are in the right place, but my body is not doing the right thing. So even though maybe my eyes are in the right place, my actions are not following through with that. And so yesterday, Jason and I spent a lot of time just talking, sitting in the living room talking about our thoughts and our ideas and our plans and our actions and where, how did we get off? Because we were doing awesome. Like when we were listening to Order of Man and then discussing that, we were really fired up and going in a good direction. And then recently we ended that. It ended. We didn't have any more episodes to watch. And so it's almost like our rudder fell off the ship because we were like, whoa, wait, where's our external input that's causing us to have internal thoughts and then discuss that between the two of us and go in a forward direction. And so, we talked earlier this year about next steps and we were like, well, what is the next step? We don't even have a next step lined out. Like we finished the last project we were doing. I didn't have the next step in line. And so everything just sort of stalled out. Like I said, it was like the rudder fell off our ship, or like it was pinned to one side and we were just spinning around in the ocean. And so we haven't nailed down like exactly what is the next step, but we've nailed down what the problem is. And I'm a big believer that if you know what the problem is, then you can move forward with making decisions on how to fix that problem. So all of that to say, hopefully I will be more consistent with Cubbyhole Conversations moving forward. I am not someone who feels like I have to do this every week, even though that's my goal to do it every week. I don't feel like if I don't do it this week, I'm a horrible person, because I just don't feel that's what God's called me to do. So that's good. For any of you who knew me pre-Isaac, that doesn't really fit with my normal life. I was very 100% on everything I did. And I've developed a much more laid back mentality, and not directly just because of Isaac, but just because of learning about God's grace, and that, it's not all about striving. It's not all about your performance. And he cares more about you and your relationship with him than he cares about all of your accolades and achievements and perfectionism and all of that. So all that to say, I think we're back on track. We know our heading, and we just need to get that rudder lined up a little bit better with our heading. So that's our goal this week. That's what we're going to be focusing on. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time on Cubbyhole Conversations.